So what do you have in the doctor's office? I guess you're flipping through your phone.
I guess nothing, not Teen Vogue now.
Although I used to always look at those magazines like, how many sick people have touched those?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Overanalyze with Dom and Kyla. I'm Kyla.
I'm Dom.
Hey, guys. All right,
Hi,
let's get
guys.
into today's episode.
Okay.
So, happy November 6th. This is Media News. Overanalyze with Dom and Kyla.
So my skin is breaking out.
Listen, me too.
And I don't know that. I'm really not happy about it.
I'm going to buy you those little star stickers. I think they have hearts. Are you going to wear them?
I'd burn them, no offense.
Do they have medicine in them? Or is it just to like...
It does.
If you're going to get attention?
I mean, I'm assuming all of them. So I used to wear... what's that brand? So I would wear the clear ones. And they have like a... But it infiltrates like the core of it and basically it dries it out, I believe, and it dies. I
don't think it'll do anything for me. Mine's hormonal. Well, aren't they all hormonal?
I don't know too much how that works. like by adulthood, I don't know.
Yeah.
As a kid, yeah, right? Because when you your hormones are changing. When you're like in your 30s and 40s, like I don't know how adult acne works. Like why? Like stress? I think mine is stress related.
Mine is too because of the election. But now I can relax because we had a blue wave.
Blue tsunami. I'm so happy. Actually, I saw my best friend this morning, and like me, him, and one of our other friends, we have a little group chat, and I give him kind of updates on like political stuff. But he's been in that weird space of like just not paying attention, and he even told me like a couple weeks ago I was just so stressed out, just with life in general. But then there's this gray cloud that's over us every single day, every moment of every single day, because we're on pins and needles waiting for the next catastrophe to happen. It's
over us and tearing down the East Wing.
Honestly, and tearing our souls down as well while we're at it. So like I was texting him last night about like the big updates, and I saw him this morning, and he even said, he's like, I just feel like the first time I can breathe a little bit. And I agree. I was just like looking at like diving into the analytics of like California, yes, but
that was huge.
New Jersey and Virginia specifically, looking at like different trends. Like for instance, in Virginia, who elected their first female governor, which the fact that we keep saying things like that blows my mind.
250 years, and it's always like, been white men.
These fucking guys. These dumb white guys.
Yes.
But
and all heterosexual men too.
That's just like a horrible. Like I think you've proven you have a track record that is nothing to celebrate necessarily.
So let's switch it up.
So let's like move aside, like girls, gays, and theys to all political positions, because I think what stood out to me last night was you had two strong women voted for the top positions of their states, and it shows you this women know how to do shit. And fun statistic out of Virginia that I read, it's that Democrats had gains in every single county in Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's the kind of thing I love looking at the storytelling of like, what does this mean for the country? Because a lot of people can say like, electing Zoran Mamdani, who I'm so excited for as the next mayor of New York City. They're like, well, okay, that's New York City, of course. How does that, apply to like Iowa?
But the lieutenant governor of New Jersey as well is a Muslim woman. And a woman. So
that's 100%. And then I think, and that's the thing I think people need to stare at is look at trends, look at what's motivating the people, especially in New Jersey. You had 3-time Trump voters that voted for Mickey Sherry. Because they're like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Now, is there an argument to be like, okay, well, why did you do it 3 fucking times? But there is a point to like when enough is enough for some people. And I think that is the kind of the trend that I'm really interested in of how that will infiltrate other states that like here in Ohio, like I was reading an article and they basically are saying like, these are good signs for someone like a Sherrod Brown because it's pointing to a direction of like how the minds are shifting and how people are voting, which I think is encouraging.
Even in our local elections in Westerville School District, they have a lot of women and a lot of people of different religions that are now on like school board trustees and things like that. Amazing. Which when they run, people were like, who's that? I can't even pronounce it, which is so rude. But people are telling you that they want something different. And it's 45 tried to say this is all because of the shutdown. The shutdown does not help. But also, even though this was not a federal election and like as of November 6th, SNAP benefits and things like that still aren't working. People aren't getting certain veteran benefits. People aren't getting certain special education benefits. But the people that you elect to these smaller roles typically move up and eventually become in the federal government. So these roles, these elections matter just as much as a presidential election.
And I would argue, I think, I was at least always taught this local elections kind of way more important than the presidential election. I mean, when you really think of it, you are the most powerful person in the world, and it's what you do with that power. However, what we're seeing now in our country, it's all about local elections, local officials, local judges that are by very fine and very strained strings holding democracy together.
Yeah.
And that is exactly why that they're so important to do your research on everyone from your city council to your school boards to your state senators to your state house representatives, all the way up, because those are the people doing all the things in your state that really hold democracy together. It's all a puzzle. It's all like, we're all interconnected. And I don't know if you saw this, but Andy Bashir is the governor.
Yes.
Did you see that tweet that you put up?
Well, I was going to say he's our governor because we live in Kentucky.
Right. You did let me.
I'm watching him on the news. I was like, when is he running for president?
I often hear his name he's a possible contender, but he said, he tweeted out this thing. He said, I'm paraphrasing now, but he had to have a conversation with people that were like lining up for the polls. And they're like, why are the polls not open? He's like, because we have no elections in Kentucky. They were that energized about what was going on in the country.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that right there is a testament of like, there's a shift happening in the country.
Well, they've been talking to him for one, because of what happened with UPS, which is unfortunate.
So sad.
And condolences. And also, he is the president of the National Governors Association. They meet every month. Yeah. They have like virtual calls. And I was like,
I know, like Tim Walz talked about that a lot.
I had no idea.
And he seemed like a really
and a Democrat in Kentucky.
Yeah, and what I like
he's a really good governor.
He's a great governor, and I think what I admire about him. I'm not a religious person. I don't subscribe to religion, but if that's what gets you through the day and that's something that you believe in, I think that's amazing. And what I think about him is that he does a really good job of tapping into, like, he's very open about his, he's very religious man, but he doesn't throw like trans kids under the bus, right? And he doesn't discriminate. And he is a Democrat and he loves everybody. And he's from the South and has a twang to his voice. And I feel like he appeals to lots of demographics of people. Don't judge a book by its cover. Right, because he's an ally, and you wouldn't necessarily think that. Right, exactly. He's not radicalized on the religious part. And a certain vice president said that he wishes his wife would convert from being a Muslim. I saw that. And now we have all of these openly Muslim practicing people in office. And so shame on him. Shame on him. And you know what? Another fun fact about the election is that his half-brother, who was running for mayor of Cincinnati, lost last night. So there's that. Look at that. The Democratic mayor that won re-election. Shout out to Cincinnati. He's a person of color, too. My daughter was born there. We lived there for a number of years. You lived in a lot of places. World traveler. He is... Aftab Purval. What was his brother's name? Corey Bowman. The D in his name stands for Donald. Does it really? That's not why he went by that. He's been going by JD for a long time, but it's something Donald. Yeah. Ugh, gross. I know. I read his book. I read a lot of books, and yeah. I have no interest in well, they didn't make that a big deal either. Like, I'm Donald. I'm choosing Donald. I know. That's the first time I ever heard that. Yeah. And I hate that name. I was telling my best friend this morning, too, about Proposition 50 out of California, where Governor Gavin Newsom is doing the right thing. Redistricting, redrawing a lot of lines. And I think almost 6 million people voted yes. And when you really think about it, millions of people throughout the state of California went to vote for one question. Yep. Not a single person. There was no body on there. It was just for one question. That does not, I don't care what state that happens in, how liberal, deep blue it is. That is a signal for something. Well, I think presidential elections, by nature of all of their money and hoopla and the candidates and the polls and all of it, get all the attention. But people are not asleep between presidential elections. Yeah. And this was a big reminder. Yes. And so I've been hearing some people say little rude things like, oh, it must be so bad you guys voted for women. Because we're going to come in there, we're going to kick ass, and you're going to be like, why did we wait so long? Exactly. Women have been running households, they've been running businesses, they've been running their own lives, they've been running all kinds of... Yep, they sure have. But all I'm saying is, people are not a monolith. So true. Practicing Muslims are not a monolith. Christians are not a monolith. White men are not a monolith. We were just talking about that with Andy Bashir. People can be different. Yeah. A lot of the people who are the loudest are assholes.
And so we are very happy.
That's the truth.
We are very happy that there is a whole new group and that people are taking risk and running for office that don't look like the norm, whatever that means. And people are accepting it and saying, yes, we want it.
And what do you, and to that point too, when you look at the future, and you kind of were like alluding to this as well, we're in the Midwest, but even more like think of Kansas and Iowa and going towards like North Dakota, South Dakota, that can be a telltale sign to folks that are thinking about like, well, if they can do it there, maybe I could do something here too. Maybe I can make my voice heard too. And that will resonate with my constituents.
Yep.
In my area. Like that's, I think it's a domino effect that can help empower others across the country, then go, okay, maybe we can challenge the system, so to speak, or challenge what seems like, you know, a hammer being, you know, hit by us every single day. Maybe we can actually stop this if we, you know, make our voices heard. And seeing races across the country like that making big moves, like they were large margins. They weren't like 1 or 2 points. Like some of them were like double digits. You know, I'm just so energized. I think it's what I'm getting at. I'm just so happy and energized that people are finding their voice and feeling empowered. And we're not going to accept this shit. Because we shouldn't. This is our country. No one's going to hijack it from us.
Nope. And say what you want about social media, because that has been spreading a lot of the word. And it's been keeping a lot of it relevant. And it's not, politics are not all negative. There's so much more. And I'm so grateful that people actually did come out and vote, and that people were even lining up to want to vote, and they didn't even have stuff in their state. Because they're like,
well, I want to do this too.
This hasn't impacted me either. I love it.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. So, speaking of religion, I guess. Heather Gay has her documentary Surviving Mormonism.
I'm obsessed with all things.
Yeah, it's coming out November 12th.
I'm very interested in how they're going to approach this. It's very new for Bravo to do something like this. I feel like I'm watching like the History Channel or like not TLC, because they have that weird ass shit over there.
They used to be different. You know that stands for the Learning Channel?
Yeah, I used to love TLC back in the day. Now I'm like, I don't want to watch people popping pimples and like hoarding. Like I don't care. Fascinated about religions in general, but really when it comes to, and I might piss some people off by saying this, but cult-like religions, ones that are kind of questionable. I have done a lot of research on Mormonism. I have family members that are Mormon, and they don't subscribe to kind of these stereotypes that we often hear about. It's very different. They're Polynesian, so I don't know what role that plays, but I always thought like they subscribe to a different set of kind of ideals, and like they're all like support gay marriage and all this kind of stuff. They're very progressive in a lot of their views. But I have a fascination with, because it's Mormonism particularly fascinates me for some reason. And I did a project once on the FLDS, which is the fundamental Latter-day Saints. They're the ones that wear like the prairie dresses and like.
Wait, so Mormons are the Seventh Day of Latter-day Saints?
Yeah.
So it's not like a Church of Mormon. You'd be going to that church. I've seen those churches. So I didn't know that was Mormon.
So what more? Yeah, that is original Mormonism. And then obviously like polygamy and all that after time was like, you know, outlawed. And so modern day Mormons don't recognize that as like, that's not who we are.
Okay, those are the old school foundational ones.
However, there's still a lot of corruption, as we're going to learn on Heather Gay's show within the Mormon church. So by no means, while they might not be wearing prairie dresses and braiding their hair and having like, sister wives, there is a lot of darkness to it that I find really fascinating. And it's, I mean, and I don't say that like, yay, it's very heartbreaking and sad. Similar to like when Leah Remini had her show about Scientology, which I was obsessed with. I just think it's so important to bring these stories to light.
Yeah. So what happens when you watch the documentary? You specifically, are you watching and you're like, wow, how can I help? Or that's so sad that they're in it? Or maybe not even you. Does Heather do this and says, maybe someone sees this and is like, oh, I can leave?
Yeah.
Or is it like just educational?
I think probably all of that. Okay. I look at it from my point of view as I don't like to speak to things that I don't know anything about. Because what does that do? Yeah. Because then in essence, I'm just talking shit.
Giving an opinion.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I look at it, it's like I'm educating myself on just really humanity, I guess, when you think about it. And for her, I know in Housewives, I know you haven't watched the previous seasons, it's come up a lot, especially when she wrote her first book, Bad Mormon. Okay. Her telling her story about her experience within the Mormon church and kind of that evolution. Because she was a devout Mormon. She like was very heavily involved, but you also learn through her books and just through her storytelling on the show of kind of like in the back of her head, she had different set of ideals, but and I'm sure you could probably relate to this in some way. I mean, you grew up in the church, but those weren't natural thoughts because they were taught something different. So like maybe,
or they're discouraged, so you try to stop thinking right?
Like opening a business, like being an entrepreneur. And that were like, no, you go home, you cook for your man.
I might read that.
I think you would like her. I haven't read her second book yet, but I think you would like Bad Mormon.
Are her kids Mormon? I don't know why.
I don't think any of them are anymore.
Interesting.
I think it was like, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. I think one by one kind of
interesting
found their way out of the church. Yeah. And I think all her girls are not. But she's a great and she's a good writer. She's writing another book apparently. Yeah. I enjoy her. I think she's a great storyteller. She does a good job articulating her thoughts, so I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. All right. Did you ever watch Dance Moms?
No. I mean, I know it, but
I can't pronounce her last name, but Nia Sioux. She was the only Black contestant on Dance Moms. And I know her from The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, she's an actress.
As of like 3 years ago, I was watching her on there. Her book came out yesterday, and it's called Bottom of the Pyramid. Okay, so because whoever was putting them in formation, she would be on the bottom. And typically, you have a big back. I know now people say big back to mean like fat. But if you just... They were the biggest ones. They were the foundation of the pyramid. And the other girls,
like, all you have to be muscular,
would stack on top of them. And she's talking about how there were so many microaggressions, so many really damaging things that happened. People would say stuff to her like, "Do you wish you had white girl hair?"
Oh, God, what the fuck?
And so a lot of it is recorded. A good amount of it is not recorded. But she talks about how her mom was such a good ally, and her mom would ask her like, "Do you want to stay on the show? Are you okay with it?" And she started to pretend that she was acting. This was a reality show with kids. Yeah, sure and she was just like, well, I'm showing up for my show. And that was how she started. And now she is actually an actress.
Oh, how interesting. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so I know her from The Bold and the Beautiful. They had her character's still there, but they replaced her. It's not the same. She was so good. But JoJo Siwa was also on that show, which I didn't know. I only know her because we both had the same birthday, May 19. I was learning so much because I don't watch reality TV outside of baking competitions. And I definitely never watched Dance Moms. And Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I thought that was fascinating. She is 23 years old.
Okay.
It is very difficult to write a memoir.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Under
in
probably
general,
40.
Yeah.
That doesn't include like sexual abuse or religion or something.
Or some form of abuse. Yeah.
And so for her to have all these microaggressions and like learning these things.
Well, feel empowered to tell that. Like that takes a lot of vulnerability and power to do that. So good for her. I would read that.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for her.
I am excited for her.
We celebrate
authors.
Girl. I know.
Female empowerment. Hey. Okay.
Still no segue.
I know. I really try hard to find one. I'm like,
all right, let me throw you one more.
Okay. Maybe this will be the one.
Teen Vogue.
Yeah. So you told me this today, and I had no idea. I totally missed this.
Yes. So they announced it earlier this week that Teen Vogue is being absorbed by Vogue. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So Teen Vogue is going to stop existing as its own publication. Vogue might start to have, they might start to have little segments in there which are like for the teens, because 19 is still a teenager.
Yeah.
18 is still a teenager. Yeah. And so I grew up reading Teen Vogue. I love Teen Beat. We were talking about that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All those Tiger Beat, Bop, all that.
And so I am sad that it's going away. I don't know if it's because people aren't consuming it the same way. If they just wanted the digital version. Like, I don't know why it couldn't have just went digital only. Yeah. And it might, right? They just announced that it's being absorbed on Monday.
Yeah.
And so there could be layers of it rolling out. But
sure.
I just remember like laying on my bed, flipping through magazines. Yeah. And I hate that kids don't get that now. I guess they could do it and flip through their phone. Because I read magazines on my phone.
Play a role, I mean, right? Like you think like with the digital age. Because I feel like, not that this is an area that I know too much about, but I feel like I have read different like articles and things, no pun intended, because we're talking about magazines, but there seems to be like a shift in like the publishing world in terms of magazines, because people aren't buying as much magazines as they once were. I think that's kind of the plot of The Devil Wears Prada too, from my understanding, that it's a shift on like how like it's not the same industry that it once was, because you can just pick up your phone. Another reason why social media has ruined everything.
That's ironic that you would say that, because The Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out next year, and that book is based on Vogue. They said that they'll never put the author Lauren Weisberger on the cover because she probably was the assistant to
I wonder if she's done any interviews.
Yeah, she has.
I don't know what she looks like.
So I've read her third book, When Life Gives You Lululemons. But I never realized that's the third book of the Devil series.
What does that have to do with?
It's Andy.
But why Lululemon?
Well, it's just her 15 years after. But
Does she work for Lululemon?
No, she's just like an at-home mom, and she's wearing like athleisure.
Wow, I did not know there was a third book.
But then I just recently found out there was the second book, and I didn't realize they were all in that same series.
I didn't know there was a third. I knew there was a second, but I didn't know there was a third book.
So
she's like a stay-at-home mom.
Well, yeah, it's about being a mom and running around in your yoga pants.
Love stay-at-home moms. Please do not take this the wrong way. They're the most strongest women. I don't see Andy as that.
I know. Or Emily.
And I don't know if I want her to be stay-at-home mom. Maybe she's gonna be an entrepreneur. You haven't read it, you said?
I have, but I didn't realize it was in the series.
Did she like create a business or something?
Well, I don't want to tell you the whole plot because now that I'm reading Revenge Wears Prada, which is the second book to The Devil Wears Prada, I'm interested to see how they tie in.
Does it all make sense?
Well, here's the thing: when I read When Life Gives You Lululemons, I don't think I even realized that.
I don't like that because I keep thinking about because I used to work.
It is the brand. It's her talking about her different pants she's putting on. And Lululemon is now kind of replaced by Aloe, so it's not even. This was years ago.
I was gonna say, when was this released?
It was years ago.
We had never talked about that. I used to my time at Lululemon. We never talked about that. I did not know that was a thing. Interesting. I want to read. I have to read all of them now. I did not know that there was a third book. So do you think reading it would it make a good movie if they finished the trilogy? Now that I know there is a trilogy, would it make a decent book?
I can't say. I had to have read it 5 years ago. But I am in the middle of Revenge Wears Prada, which we believe is going to be based off of the second movie. We think it's going to be based off of that book.
That book, yeah.
It's very good. It's very good. Now, and I'm a weird person that I can read the book knowing I've seen the movie, and I love Andy as the character.
Yeah, but you said she's pretty different though in the book.
She's very different, but that's okay because screenwriters have their own freedom, to create. But I'm excited.
I'm not over Andy being a stay-at-home mom. I don't like that.
But again, it's been years.
Nothing. Disclaimer: nothing yet stay-at-home moms.
But it is about picket fences and let me just pick out my Lulus because I'm just going here.
I guess when you really think about it, that does seem like, of course.
She's 23 in The Devil Wears Prada, 22-ish, 23. And now this movie is 10 years later. She would raise some badass kids. Like badass in a good way.
Badass, yeah. But going back to Teen Vogue, my only reference to Teen Vogue was because I watched The Hills. I have always watched reality TV, so I watched Laguna Beach and The Hills, and that was always my reference. Though as a teenage gay boy, I would buy regular Vogue. I never bought Teen Vogue unless someone. Like an actress that I loved was on the cover. But when you really think about it, I mean, I don't want to say there's no place for it because I'm not a teen girl, so I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't think men should be making those decisions because what do they fucking know about women, especially teenage women? But this is a very pro-female podcast episode today, and I'm loving it. Is there, I mean, you would know a little more. Is there still a space, do you think, for that in 2025 and beyond where are teenage girls going out to buy a magazine and is that something you think is still appealing? Because times are so different than they were when I was in high school. Still appealing.
I can only speak for my life with blinders, and we still take my daughter to the bookstore to get a stack of books and flip through them.
Yeah,
they just had the Scholastic Book Fair, and I remember
I craved those days as a kid.
But my kiddo, because we'll take her to the library for. I mean, she has her own card. I have a card. We have cards. She didn't want to buy a book because she's like, I'll just get it from the library.
Sustainable queen.
And so I was like, dang. So I am raising her differently. So I'm like, I'm not quite sure. But I will say, if they would think about magazines differently, she loves YouTube. She watches teenagers play Roblox because we won't let her play it yet. But they just had someone on there eating a branded bag of Lay's chips. They could have had them opening up a Teen Vogue. It's basically The Sims for little kids. If they would get creative with the marketing and creative with different ways to make it still relevant, then they're going to go to the store and be like, I want a Teen Vogue.
I don't,
so I can't.
I think, listen, I'm so, this is when my age starts to show, and that is not prideful for me. It is into certain regard.
Yeah.
Because I love getting older and becoming wiser, more experienced. I don't know if I ever told you this. Funny enough, I worked for Lululemon. My staff was all under 22.
How old were you?
31.
Okay.
30, 31. Talking to some of my employees. And I can't remember how we got on the topic. We're talking about actresses or something, blah blah. And I said, "Oh, do you guys watch a Drew Barrymore show?" Mm-hmm. They're like, "Who's Drew Barrymore?" And I almost collapsed because the millennial in me, you can't say that too. The gay man in me, Drew Barrymore is an
Never
icon.
Been Kissed.
Never Been Kissed. Ever After was one of my that movie. I watched Ever After as a kid, and it still stays with me in my heart to this day, where it moves my soul.
She's so funny.
I loved her, and they said that, and I literally collapsed. So all that to say,
maybe they're not reading magazines.
That's what I mean. And so,
so what do you have in the doctor's office? I guess you're flipping through your phone.
Maybe that's where they're, I guess nothing, not Teen Vogue now.
Although I used to always look at those magazines like, how many sick people have touched those?
Oh, yeah. But I touched them anyways. So I'm like, whatever. I'm going to die soon anyways.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to die at some point. Speaking of magazines.
Yeah.
People magazines, Sexiest Man Alive, cue sound effects. Jonathan Bailey, who is...
He is so handsome.
Oh, my... He literally makes me quiver.
I feel like he's a nice person, too.
I do,
I feel like if you met, like, he would hold the door for you. I feel like he's very, like... Yeah.
He is definitely the guy I'm imagining that makes you feel like you're the only person in the room when he talks to you.
So what's the first thing you've seen him in? Like, where do you know him from?
Fellow Travelers.
Okay.
True story, by the way. It's very good. I want you to check that.
Really?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
So
I know him from Bridgerton.
I knew he was
so like
in
maybe
Bridgerton.
3 years ago, I became... But then all of a sudden, he just finished Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So now he is
with slutty little
everywhere.
Glasses. Yep.
Oh, those were such a big deal.
He is so sexy. But
I have my slutty little glasses.
You really do. They're just like that. His beautiful accent. He does. His
body is fantastic.
His body, but he has a warmth to the way that when he's like in his interviews, like he doesn't. Could we be wrong? Sure. I'm gonna hope that I'm not. He does not seem like a fucking asshole at all. He just seems like a genuinely like sweet man. I bet he smells so good.
I think he has really good boundaries, and I think that keeps him from being an asshole. I feel like when he wants to be out, he is, and he'll do a whole bunch of things. What
he has to do,
and then he goes and he sits down, and he probably is him and his partner and some dogs, and they're probably chilling.
Yeah,
like you make breakfast, you order groceries. Yeah. I think he's very like he enjoys the celebrity, but I don't think that's his whole personality.
Yeah.
And
I could see that.
If that's not the case,
then that's devastating.
Never tell me, because I just feel like he is. Even there's a guy on TikTok I follow, and he was the one that called them slutty little glasses, and he eventually goes on there. He comments on his page.
His personality, like I think he's playful and
but he is really sexy,
and also but multifaceted. Like dance, sings. He is has his talking voice. And I don't like to like minimize guys like that, just because, especially gay men, because we all do that to each other.
Well, people minimize them, so we're just.
And I mean, you're famous, so I have to talk about it. But he's also like fashion, like he's very daring.
Because I think he wears what he really wants to wear, and I think he owns it in a way.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he has a stylist, but I feel like he has strong opinions and thoughts, and is very involved in the process.
So Dom has never seen Bridgerton, and we're about to watch Jonathan Bailey's dominant. Season. He's in every season because he's the eldest brother. But you'll start to be like, I remember seeing that. He has some clips in the show where people are like, he's not even attracted to women. He's acting his ass off. Yeah, like the chemistry on screen, and you're just like, I wish that was me. And you're like, he's not even attracted to her. What? Like, it's so good.
He's a great actor.
He's phenomenal.
He really is. So I was really
He's a great person.
And talking about, like, I saw a funny tweet, and I don't remember all the things about it. It was right after the election a couple days ago. But they're like, wow, look at all this. There we have the first Muslim mayor of New York, women across the board being elected, a gay man as People Magazine's hottest. Like, there is
Which is
shift.
The first time ever, right?
There is a shift in the air happening in this country. Yeah. February's going to come, and we're going to see Bad Bunny be sexy on stage. Like, there is... Like, listen, people that are scared of all this shit, like, I don't know what your problem is or what to be scared of. And honestly, it must be so, like, crippling to be fearful of gay people, strong women, women of color, Latinos.
But I don't think it is hard for them because they're all out being loud.
Well, they're clearly scared of something. I don't know what it is. And I just love seeing this.
We're the nicest people. Welcome us.
Really are.
We're so sweet. We don't speak for everyone.
No, that's true. I can be kind of a cunt sometimes, so...
I mean,
yeah,
everyone is.
Sorry.
It happens.
So I love that. I'm very happy for him. And
yeah, it's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal. And
he seems funny too.
How crazy is that they have to be in a meeting somewhere and they're like, Jonathan Bailey.
Could you imagine being?
Can we?
Like, is there a board that like who? Like, this is gonna sound like a really weird frame of reference, but I think about it from our like previous corporate lens that we used to work at. And I'm just thinking about like when they're in all those meetings that we know that like all our folks were in.
Yeah.
Of like choosing people to be in certain, whether it's campaigns, influencers.
There's 7 people on the board.
Right.
This one, but this one has a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, but this one has a this. Exactly. Oh, but that guy was just on this cover.
When they did all these partnerships, when you think these brands doing partnerships, but they have to choose people from said partnership of like, I don't know how much I could say. So I won't.
It's all right. But how do you think Jonathan found out? Like, do they call him and say, hey?
Maybe something similar like when they get nominated for like an Oscar. It's probably like your publicist. So guess what? I don't know.
What if they have to ask him, like, do you want it? Because there had to be a whole photo shoot. Or he just naturally looks so flirty at the camera. Because I was watching the clips on Insta
and they just don't
I was
tell
like,
him. Or is it like not an election, but they're like, okay, we're gonna take these pictures. Because that's
you're
kind of
runner up for it. Maybe.
Right, exactly. Well, do you know this? I have not watched the show like I used to, but RuPaul's Drag Race, the winner, when you watch the season finale, I don't know what it is now. How many? I think sometimes there's a wild card. But there's usually multiple people that make it to the finale and one wins. But they shoot, everyone gets their own finale, and they don't find out till it airs on TV who's the actual winner.
I wonder if
can you imagine acting like as if you won? Like, okay, now it's your turn. Like, if you're winning, now this is your moment.
You think they do that for my baking championship?
I don't know. 'Cause when I learned that, I literally almost shit myself.
Is that why you don't watch it anymore?
No, I have no reason. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You know what?
Isn't that fascinating?
That should not be as fascinating, but this is you'll be like, seriously? My husband was watching something on TV and I'm like, how do they do that? How are all those people staying quiet? It was people in like a cafe somewhere eating. And he was like, Kyla, those are extras. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, they're not really walking into a place filming. He was like, they're probably just pretend like moving their mouth and not saying anything. And I was like, so now I was rewatching Sex and the City and I was like, those are extras in the background. I feel
yes and no. Yes and no. That's actually not fully true though.
Like, wait.
They've often talked about this on different interviews that I've seen, like Sarah Jessica Parker and Kristen Davis, those two specifically. A lot of the people in the background, they shot in New York. Those are real New Yorkers.
So like in the cafe when they would go and have food.
I don't know the ratio.
Wow.
I know like a majority of scenes, like because they weren't shot on a set necessarily at all. They were shot in New York.
I just imagine they had like a boom mic like right here.
And in fact, I can tell you, I'm gonna butcher the story a little. It's not really a story from my end, but I remember Sarah Jessica Parker and Kristen Davis, I believe it was those two, or it could have been just Kristen Davis. But they were talking about in the first Sex and the City movie, the scene where Carrie runs out of the limo to hit Big with the plow. They said it was so stressful because you're in the street of New York City in front of the New York Public Library. We had to figure out, like, what do we do? Because you had real people.
The library
around.
Was still open?
I don't know if the libraries were open, but the streets were.
Oh, yeah.
To minimize leaks and, like, giveaways. Because I do remember at that time seeing photos of Carrie Bradshaw in the wedding dress. And it was like, what has happened? You didn't know. I can't remember if it was big or not. Like, whatever the photo that was leaked. I feel like I don't remember knowing, like, who it was, but you can connect the dots.
Wow.
But they often have talked about, like, when they were shooting certain, like, groundbreaking scenes, to not give them away. Was so a lot of those people were very, like, they're just like, and they often said, like Sarah Jessica Parker has said, like, that's why New York is the best city in the world, because they're not faced by it.
Not faced.
They're like, okay.
Meanwhile, I would have been in the back like,
I know, me too. I'd be like,
or better yet,
I'd be a horrible extra. And you would see, they would have to cut that shit out. Like, these two are ruining the scene.
Well, now you just get AI to just erase it.
Or they use AI. That's the whole thing, is AI replacing extras.
Maybe we can recreate Sex and the City with AI. I bet they could just be like,
oh, I wouldn't watch that.
Yeah, but put in the scripts and be like, just make it. Oh, come on, Sarah Jessica Parker. Use technology.
I want the real people.
I know. If she blesses it, you would watch it.
Well, I wouldn't say no. I would try and see what happens.
It could be like a South Park version.
Like a cartoon. Can you imagine Sex and the City as a cartoon?
I'd watch it.
Oh, God.
All right. Yay for Jonathan Bailey.
Yay for Jonathan Bailey.
Because who knows where I'll cut all of this.
Who knows? I did have that other thing I just wrote down too, of Jennifer Lawrence. This is actually like really new news.
Okay.
Apparently, she said on La Culturistas podcast, which I love, that her and Emma Stone are making a Miss Piggy movie. Now, there's no other details I was able to find on that.
I saw you
what
watching
that even means.
I didn't know her voice. I didn't recognize that as being her.
Like, there's a script that's being currently written.
Big fan of Emma Stone. I was just telling my daughter about we saw some commercial with Miss Piggy, and I was like, yeah, and she's married to a frog, and she's like, what? And so then I had to go show her, and then she's like, who's that guy? Which I should have known, Gonzo, because she's obsessed with the Grinch. She's a big fan of like the ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that's Gonzo. And then we're talking about Fonzie Bear. And she's just like, but she wasn't as weirded out. And I think it's because she grew up with Sesame Street. And those are puppets as well.
Yeah.
But she's like, the frog is married to, where do they live? I'm like, yeah.
You're not bless your heart. Because if I would not know how to parent an intelligent child that knows how to ask. I'd be like, go play. Talk about the sign of the times. Because I wouldn't have asked questions like that because I don't think I was... You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so interesting to see the evolution of
But books are humanity. Different now. We just read a book about a duck that doesn't like water. And so he's wearing a raincoat.
That doesn't make me sad.
And then he becomes best friends with a frog. And so he puts like a skylight in his house so that the water can fall on
community.
So they write books like this for kids. They didn't write books like that for us.
So true. I guess that is a really good point. So
their kids are very more mindful. They're more like alert and aware.
God, they're so smart.
She's also awesome. I'm biased. And she's totally...
One should.
She went voting with us yesterday.
Did she vote?
No.
Did they do that in their
she
school?
pressed all the buttons. Well, at her preschool, she would vote with Oreo cookies. Like, do you like the chocolate frosting or the...
That's racist. They did not do that. Did you ever think about that?
They did, but I didn't think about it until this
Please do not tell me Kamala was chocolate. That is a lawsuit waiting to happen. That is so racist. Do not tell me.
That makes me sad.
Are you just realizing that
She's
now?
Been doing it for 3 years, so it wasn't always a black and white candidate. Oh my God. I might have to cut that, but...
I don't know, because that's a real... I did not know.
So my daughter used to vote with Sam.
How do they describe that to such young kids?
Which cookie do you like? And they had like the blue box, and because the golden Oreos are in the yellow box. And so it'd be like, do you like the blue cookies or do you like the yellow cookies?
What do they do for third-party candidates?
They didn't get them that deep. Oh my gosh.
I don't blame them. Do you teach her about voting?
I do. We talk to her about voting. We talk to her about taxes.
Whoa, okay.
Because one of the things on ballots was a tax increase, but it was to keep a lot of the extracurricular classes, like your art class, your music class, your this and that. And so we're like, do you like that class? Do you want to keep it? And they're like, how would you feel about paying more money so that you could keep them? And she's like, well, if we have the money, I think it's good.
How do you say no to that?
And so, but she went in with me. My husband was talking to one of the people campaigning outside. And I let her press the buttons. I'm like, press that one. You know, you're around other people. So I'm not like, press that guy. Press this one or press that one and then press next. And then we print it. And I'm like, now you have to go count it. It doesn't count if you don't put it in the machine. Guess what? They gave her a future Ohio voter.
I saw that on your story. I didn't know they made those.
I didn't either. It was so cute.
I think that's so important.
She was really proud of it too.
Well, listen, I mean, I told you this story a million times, but like voting, but watching my mom vote and being in the vote. That was in the old days when there was no electric screens. I remember her with the paper. Okay.
Yeah.
That was very significant for me. I know where her voting location was. I don't know what. I can't remember. I feel like it was the post office actually. So I'm going to ask her like what the building was.
Yeah.
But I remember being in there. I remember the curtain, and I just remember going. The one question I asked her was like, "What are you voting for?" And she said, "The United States Senate. I'm voting for Hillary Clinton." Oh. And that was such a pivotal moment for me.
Yeah.
And did I know what that meant? No, necessarily. But there was something there. Seeing my mom vote, and she did tell me what voting was, and I don't know how she described it, but whatever that moment was really significant. So and now your daughter's going to remember that.
I know, and now you're a political podcaster. How cool! I know. Well, this is political, so
everything is political when you think about it.
All art is political.
Art is political.
I know.
Support the arts. You know what? I didn't tell you this. I had a dream the other night that we were invited to BravoCon. Ooh. So that just means we have to keep talking about housewives.
That's fine.
And a trailer came out for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills yesterday.
Ooh, I saw that. I didn't know that Rachel Zoe was a designer or was on that show.
What's her last name?
Is it Zoe?
Yeah.
Zoe? Is it pronounced Zoe?
Yeah, Rachel Zoe.
Oh, but it has an E on it.
Mm-hmm. Zoe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Is that what she's from? Did she do that and then become a designer?
She had a show on Bravo because she's a stylist years ago for like several seasons. And that's why in the trailer she goes, "You might remember me because I used to live here."
I screamed. I was like, I didn't know I knew a housewife.
And apparently things I've heard, like little rumblings, she's really like She's really good. So that we definitely will have to when that. I think that's in December. So we have to recap that as well because it looks so good. And our girl Bose is on it making news because it's my girl. I love her. But I had a dream that we went to BravoCon.
I love that for us.
And I'm actually really sad that I'm missing. I kind of wish that I did a better job of planning. So I feel like this year
he went to 8 concerts, music concerts this year. So now he can't go to Bravo.
I went to and I'm going to Demi Lovato too.
It's okay though. All right, you guys.
BravoCon next year, 2026.
This was fun. So we're gonna be on BravoCon and then take a yacht trip.
Because sometimes they do. If we somehow become now this house like Bravo podcasters, every year like they have people that host panels at BravoCon that do what we're. I'm not. I'm like. So I had a whole dream about this. I was like, I don't remember the details because I woke up from it, but we were invited and we were in cute outfits and we were like in our hotel room.
I can be Miranda Priestley and you can be like, who's that? And you're like, that's Meredith Marks. I'm like, oh, hi. Because I'm not going to know the people. I'm like,
you should have saw me at Bravo. The one time I went to BravoCon, I was.
All right, you guys. This was media news for November 6th. Lots of stuff.
Something.
Thanks for overanalyzing with us.
Bye. Bye. See you later. I can do ASMR.
I'm cutting all of this. Ooh, what is that? Apple cinnamon tea?
Yeah. Well, that chai. No, it doesn't have chai in it. It's a Harvest Blush from Trader Joe's.
Oh, good.
It's very fall, but